So tonight we're going to talk about balancing our body and how do we do that and getting really the best results for optimal wellness and keeping that metabolism going. That is really the key. So we'll talk about how do we do that and the essential natural approach to doing that. So if you're on here, you can probably relate. Who has felt like this? Overwhelmed, frustrated, have anxiety, maybe depressed. This picture I really like because I know I feel this way sometimes, just scattered and my thoughts not focused and really, feeling anxious. And who all can relate to, the bottom picture too of, getting on the scale, being really frustrated, feeling tired all the time, and really feeling a sense of hopelessness that, you've tried different things and it hasn't worked. And that feeling totally secure about, your physical body. And that really portrays itself into, being insecure in other ways too. So we want to find solutions for that. How do we find long-term solutions to be fit and healthy and overall just optimal wellness? And that comes from being balanced. And when I say balanced, I truly mean body, mind, spirit. And to achieve that, we don't need to go on a diet or deprive ourselves from things. We really need to really focus on bringing our bodies into balance. And we're going to focus on the wellness pyramid. And you're going to see that this wellness pyramid is so important because you really do need these building blocks in order to achieve optimal wellness. But tonight we're really going to focus in on how do I get the best and I'll say quickest results, that quickest way to balance. And we're going to focus on eating right, exercise, and managing our stress and rest and stress management. So who am I? Let me introduce myself. My name is Bodie Avery, and this is my wellness revolution. So I'm 46 years old, almost 47, be 47 on the 23rd of this month. Husband, father of three. Those are my three kids at the top there with my lovely wife, Elisa. And for 23 years, I worked in the corporate world in the heavy-duty trucking industry. That was one part of my life. And the other part of my life, I've always been very into fitness, wellness, and nutrition. You see where I have enthusiasts there. I don't put an expert because it's always a constant learning process for me. Over these last 20 years, I really have progressed and learned really the key ways to achieve optimal wellness, just not the way you look, but your total wellness inside and out. So how did this wellness revolution begin? Let me give you a little history. So 20 years ago, my brother, Drew Avery, entered a transformation contest. And he ended up winning this contest. And he had amazing results. So back in 1996, you can see this top picture here. He was out of shape, not feeling well, and decided to change his life. And this transformation contest really spoke to him. So 90 days later, this is the way he looked. And I physically saw my brother just change, and it was just amazing in so many ways that I said, well, if he can do it, I can do it. And it really inspired me. And you can see that my brother, even after these last 20 years, this is a recent photo as well, has maintained that level of fitness. And he also has been very instrumental in teaching and really paving the way for me as far as what nutritions and supplements to use and how to work out and all these good things. And since that time, well, let me back up. Back in 1998, the very next year, that transformation contest inspired my dad and I to also enter. So the next year, my dad and I entered, and we were lucky enough to be featured in our local newspaper and have a write-up on us. But and it turned out good. My dad ended up getting third place that next year, and I didn't win, but I always say I wasn't as out of shape as those two guys to begin with. So I kind of tease them a little bit, but they did a great job. And as you can see, over the last 20 years, we've really maintained that level of nutrition and optimal wellness. And what I've learned over those last 20 years is that long-term success is simple. And we talk about balance. And the key thing we want to balance in our body is we want to balance our blood sugar levels. When we do this, that is when amazing things start happening. When we balance our blood sugar, it stimulates our metabolism, it regulates our hormone levels, and then when we do that, when we regulate our hormone levels, then we create a much more stable environment for our emotions. So we're able to handle stresses better and overall portray a happier life. And so really the key is balancing that blood sugar. So how do we do that? So what I want to tell you is that blood sugar drives our metabolic process. And really, there's two things that stop our metabolism or turn it off. And this is what most people get very frustrated with, especially those that are older or going through the midlife, from 30s to 60s, is that your metabolism starts slowing down and you become very frustrated. But there's really two things that turn our metabolism off. And that is consuming sugar or things that burn in our body like sugar, which are high glycemic index foods. And then the second thing that turns our metabolism completely off is that if we go for more than 4 to 6 hours without eating, our body goes into starvation mode. And we know this because after we haven't eaten for a while, we get hangry and we notice that energy lull. That's our body going into starvation mode. But here's the trick, and here's why so many people get frustrated, is that even if I eat a perfectly healthy meal, but I have not eaten for more than 4 to 6 hours, and my body's in starvation mode, I eat that perfect meal and my body wants to store it as fat because it doesn't know when it's going to eat again. It's in starvation mode. So that's why it's so important to maintain our body in the metabolic zone for as long as we can. Because if it happens to go out of that and turns our metabolism off, it doesn't just start right back up if we eat one good meal, right? And I always like to use the analogy of a campfire. So when you're burning a campfire and you're camping, is it much easier to keep the campfire going by putting bigger logs on it throughout the day and just keeping it going? Or if that fire goes out, it's much harder to restart that fire every time, right? And our metabolism is much the same way. It takes much more effort to get it going again. So we want to talk about the key things to keep us in that metabolic zone, okay? Now, the first thing I talked about that turns our metabolism off was sugar, or things that burn in our body like sugar. Now, sugar is really the worst, most dangerous thing that we are facing today, and nobody's really talking about it. People are starting to kind of talk about it, but it is an epidemic. It really is. Sugar is what's causing our health problems. Sugar is what's causing us to be fat. It's not that we're eating high-fat foods. It's not that we're eating too much, although that kind of plays a part, but it's not the key factor. Sugar and the foods that burn in our body like sugar, breads, pastas, dairy, things like that, is what's causing our blood sugars to spike and to turn our metabolism off. Now, sugar has gotten very defined over the last years. It's very concentrated. So sugar now is as addictive as cocaine. It stimulates our brain scans the same way cocaine does. And it acts as an antidepressant, which is good in some ways, right? Right when we eat it, we feel great. It's an antidepressant. It releases serotonin and we feel fantastic. But what happens is that it also acts just like an antidepressant drug would, in that over time, it desensitizes those receptors. So it takes more and more sugar to get that same feeling, okay? So, and we all have experienced that, and that's why we crave things, right? That's why we have sugar cravings. That's why we have sugar withdrawals. It's just like a drug. And the average American eats 180 pounds of sugar a year, and that's actually a low figure. I think it's much more. And that's up from 4 pounds a year back in the 1800s. So as you can see, our bodies they're not made to handle that much sugar. They're really not. And in the current times with these monster drinks and I challenge you to look at every label that you're consuming, it's got sugar in it. And they put sugar in everything. And that's why it's so important that we be aware of how much sugar we're eating and what it's doing to our body. Sugar represses our immune system for 2 to 4 hours after we consume it. So essentially everybody's eating sugar at almost every meal. So you're walking around in a state of repressed immune system all day long, okay? Because you're eating sugar for breakfast, sugar as a snack, sugar for lunch, and your body can never build that immune system strength up. Sugar, of course, gives you that burst of mental energy. We talked about it, but then it's followed by brain fog and fatigue because you drop and your blood sugar drops, right? And it leads to more cravings because it's desensitizing our receptor sites. Sugar is also a huge cause of inflammation in our body. It's very irritating to the inside of our body. It's the root cause of most chronic health conditions. So if you go back to heart issues, heart attacks, arthritis, cancer, sugar and cancer have been linked highly now. And so it's just very important that we get sugar out of our life and to really reduce it as much as we can. It's a huge issue. And this is the issue. And if you're going to make the biggest change in your life right now, it's to take sugar out of your life. And I guarantee you, you're automatically going to feel better. Now, it's going to take you about 20 to 30 days to get past that withdrawal period, but you will start feeling much better if you just take sugar out of your life. Okay, nutrition. Now tonight, I could speak all night on certain factors that go into our metabolic zone and what we're doing, but tonight I wanted to give you just a down and dirty overview and what things you can really take with you tonight to start making that progression and to turn your metabolism on, okay? The down and dirty. This is how to keep your body in the metabolic zone. Okay, first, we want to reduce our sugar intake, like we just said. So we want to reduce it and not intake more than 30 grams a day, okay? Now, that does not include fruit, okay? Fruit, the sugar is bound to the fiber and the nutrients of that fruit. So when you're eating a whole fruit, it does not spike your blood sugar levels like refined sugar does. So don't fear fruit. It's okay to eat fruit. But what I want you to do is eat the whole fruit. Don't drink fruit juices, because say if we have a glass of orange juice, that's like eating 6 or 7 oranges that is all squeezed into that glass. And again, our body was not meant to eat 6 or 7 oranges at one time. Plus you're taking the fiber out of it, which again slows the sugar, right? So when we want to eat fruit, we want to eat the whole fruit. And I say don't eat fruit for every, all day long, but 2 to 3 servings a day is good, okay? And that still gives us that sweet taste and, really helps with our, other fruit or vegetables and food choices that we're making. The second thing is we want to graze. We want to eat smaller portions more often. Now, we've all heard this, right? This is not rocket science that I'm talking about. We need to eat 5 to 6 times a day, and we need to eat every 2 to 3 hours because we don't want to turn our metabolism off. We don't want to go to that 4 to 6 hour range and where we go into starvation mode, right? This is where it's crucial that the timing of your food really matters, okay? You can't just eat 1 or 2 meals a day and expect, even though you're eating less calories and you're eating really well, your body's in constant starvation mode. And that's why most people get frustrated because they're not making the gains and their wellness gains that they thought they would make because they're not eating enough and they're not eating those smaller portions throughout the day. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, and the third thing is when we do regulate our blood sugar, it also is regulating our cortisol levels and our serotonin, all of our hormone levels. Those are also driven and by our blood sugar levels. So when we do that, when we stay in the metabolic zone, we're also staying in the emotional zone, right? We're not subject to those highs and lows, to being hangry, emotional. We can handle stress in our life much better. And when you do that over a long period of time, you will find your overall demeanor is much more positive, much more energetic. It just happens that way. Okay, so our food and the timing of our food is so important in our overall well-being. It's all tied together. And then we need to add more nutrient-dense vegetables and fruits, like I talked about. But I recommend at least 9 servings a day, okay? So we want to, don't intake more than 30 grams of sugar a day. We want to also up our vegetables and fruits to 9 servings a day. Okay, so this structure right here, if you can implement this, will make a dramatic difference in your health and well-being after really the first 20 or 30 days or so. Okay, because you're going to go through that detox period. Now, if you want more meal by meal advice and a nutrition plan, I can do that. I do it for many people. So if this is still a little daunting for you, or you're not sure where to start, you can get with me and I can help you with a nutrition plan. So at the bottom there, I say, this is simple. This is not rocket science or groundbreaking information, but it's not always easy, right? We get busy. We don't plan. So planning and preparation is really the key to success when you want to change your overall wellness. Okay, this is a list of some low glycemic foods. So these are the foods that are going to burn in our fire like bigger logs, right? They're just going to do slow burns throughout the day and are very nutritious foods. Now, this is just a few that I've thrown out. There's hundreds. So I really want you to experiment, to look up paleo recipes, vegan recipes, and be aware of the glycemic index of the foods you're eating. So avocados, fantastic food to eat. They're high in natural fats. They have excellent nutrients. They burn in our body slowly. I always say, when in doubt, have an avocado. It's great. Asparagus, broccoli, sunflower seeds. Seeds and nuts are fantastic. They're going to give you your proteins. Eggs are fantastic. Yes, eat the yolk, eat the whole egg. It's not the fats that people, for years, people say don't eat the yolk. Baloney. Eat the yolk. It's got great nutrients in it. It's high in fats. It's really good. Your body needs it. Your brain needs it. Garlic, almonds, chicken, steel oats. If you're going to eat a grain, make sure it's as raw and as unrefined as possible. So a little bit of oats, like steel oats, are really good. Fish, whole fruits again, eat the whole fruit. Cayenne pepper, quinoa, another grain that's very high in protein and a slow burning, low glycemic index food. These are just a few that are just to kind of get your mind going on what foods you can eat. And again, if you want further, meal by meal advice, I can help you out with that. So also, what other tools can we use besides our foods to keep our bodies in the metabolic zone? Okay, and what I have found the last 3 years, I've started using essential oils. And I have found that they are amazing. They do so many things. I first started out using them because I got sick and I was getting over a cold, and a friend of mine had given them to me, and I was the biggest skeptic. I was like, hogwash, these are just, magic oils, whatever. I started using them and they worked really well. And I started using them in all other areas of my life too, to reduce the toxins in my life, to replace my deodorants and things like that. But then I got to thinking, how can you use these powerful plant-based essential oils in a proactive way in our fitness? And I've used supplementation for years, and I've used literally every supplement you can think of. And I have found that with essential oils, you can do the things that other supplements do, but we can do them natural with natural plant-based essential oils. And again, we go back to regulating our blood sugar, emotional support, things like that. The essential oils are fantastic for giving us another tool to help us maintain that metabolic level and to keep us in the metabolic zone. Now, remember I talked about if you went 4 to 6 hours without eating and then you ate a food, your body's in starvation mode, and it would take several meals to get it out of that starvation mode. We're going to talk about some essential oils that actually will kick your body back up into, get your metabolism going. And I like to use the analogy of putting a little gas on the fire, to get it going again. So I'm going to show you some essential oils that'll help us do that. So essential oils are natural plant-based. I like to call them supplementation. Essential oils permeate through the cell walls, helping cell function. So you'll notice that they go right into your skin very quickly, and they go into your cells very quickly. And they're able to help your cells heal. They help your cells function better. And depending on which essential oils you use, you can use them to really dial in your health and wellness. Essential oils bind to our human receptor sites perfectly. That's another amazing thing to learn about essential oils. It's like they were made for us, right? And I really think they are. I think these essential oils were put on this earth. These plants were put on the earth for us, for our wellness and our health care, and essential oils just make sense. So what are essential oils? They're natural aromatic compounds that are found in plants, in parts of plants. They can be found in the flowers, the bark, the roots, all sorts of areas, the rinds of citrus fruits. And what these these aromatic compounds do is they provide the plants with protection, healing, and regenerative abilities. And what we're doing is when we intake and use these essential oils, they're doing the same thing for us. They're protecting our immune system. They're helping us heal. They're helping us regenerate. They're very clean, and they're immediately absorbed by the skin like we talked about. And you can use them topically, aromatically, and internally, okay? So essential oils are a great tool to have. And what we're talking about tonight is very specific to regulating our blood sugar and our metabolism, right? But you can use them for literally every other health concern you have. And if you want to learn more, I can teach you more about that as well. So let's get to the point. Which essential oils do I use and recommend right off the bat for people to get the quickest results and to turn that metabolism on and to really get into optimal wellness? So first thing in the morning, I recommend lemon essential oil. Lemon is very cleansing. It raises the body's pH level. It's great for oral care because of its antimicrobial properties. It's great for natural allergy relief. It improves digestion. All these great things we get out of lemon essential oil. What I like to use when we are using it on the proactive side, yes, you're getting all these amazing benefits, but I like because it cleanses our lymphatic system and it's raising our body's pH level. Those are two main things that are going to really impact our wellness right off the bat. Okay, but you can also use them for all these other, you can use lemon for these other things too, right? You're getting a lot more bang for your buck. So I recommend using 3 to 4 drops first thing in the morning with a large glass of water, like a 16-ounce glass of water. Two things, we're getting our lemon in, we're cleansing our body, and we're turning on that metabolism, and we're getting our water intake for the day. So our water intake, and I didn't really discuss this at first, we need to be intaking no less than 80 ounces of water per day, okay? So that's another thing to focus on, 80 ounces of water per day. 16 ounces first thing in the morning with some lemon in it, it's gonna get your body going. Now, you get ready, you have your lemon, take your shower, you're getting ready for the day. Before you put your shoes on to go out, I recommend using frankincense essential oil, 2 to 3 drops on the bottom of your feet. Now, frankincense has a ton of benefits, but what I like it to use in this scenario to start your day is it reduces the stress and our negative emotions. It helps boost our immune system and prevent illness, right? So it's boosting our immune system. It helps relieve migraines, and because frankincense is one of the few essential oils that pass the blood-brain barrier. So the minute you put it on, and if you put it on the bottoms of your feet, it absorbs through your skin very quickly. And the reason you put it on your feet is because those are your largest pores in your body, right? A lot of people ask, why put it on the bottoms of your feet? And that's why. It gets into your system, if you're using it topically, much faster through your feet. Okay. Also heals skin and prevents signs of aging, has all those benefits. But here's the other one, balances hormone levels. And so this is really key because we're balancing our blood sugar, we're also balancing those hormone levels, but the frankincense gives us another tool to really balance in our hormones. And if we do have an imbalance in our hormone somewhere, and say just our nutrition isn't quite getting it, the frankincense really does a good job of bringing those hormone levels back into normal areas, okay? And also helps decrease inflammation and pain. So we're gonna talk about doing a little bit more exercise, right, to get our body going. So frankincense, when used on a daily basis, is gonna keep that inflammation down, the pain down, allow us to recover quicker, and allow us to keep doing that exercise. Okay, so frankincense is another good one that I have everybody use at least once a day on their feet, sometimes more if other things are going on, but that's one of the key ones. Okay, here's the next one. So I really am a proponent of doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. Now it's a combination of a multivitamin, a whole nutrient complex, whole foods nutrient complex that really gives you all the nutrients you are not going to get in your daily nutrition plan. It's so hard to really get optimal levels of all your vitamins, all your minerals, just on diet alone. So I really like to supplement with a whole food nutrient complex to make sure you're getting all those nutrients you need, and it's going to help your body, again, just kick it up a notch and kick your metabolism up. Now, the reason I really like it too is that doTERRA combines essential oils in with their complex to help it be more gentle on your stomach. And I've taken a lot of vitamins and a lot of supplements, and tell you, these are the most gentle. You can take these without, without food if you want, and they're really not hard on your stomach, and they absorb into your system very well. So that is a really big advantage of their Vitality Pack. Also with that comes the essential oil omega complex. So this is giving me all your omega oils that your marine and land sourced omega fatty acids. It's giving you all that. Plus, it also has got a combination of essential oils in there as well. So it's not only just your omega complex, but it's giving you key essential oils as well as for antioxidant purposes. And then you have your Alpha CRX, your antioxidant formula, which is really giving you all your polyphenols that you need to help your body stay in balance. Again, very important for hormone levels as well. Okay, so I recommend this to everybody I work with. It is just key because you can't get all your nutrients and all the things you need to get you to optimal wellness without some sort of natural supplementation. And doTERRA really does a fine job of that. Everything's geared around absorption, right? So you're going to notice that even the vitamins, if you turn them around, they don't say 100% of this and 1,000% of that. It's 25%, 10%, right? It's based on what your body can absorb. So it's very, you're not wasting or making your body a more toxic environment by slamming it with vitamins that your body can't handle. Okay, so it's very good for that. Now, let's talk about the Slim and Sassy Essential Oil Blend. This is one of the key essential oil blends when you're talking about balancing your blood sugar, when you're talking about weight loss, and you're talking about becoming more fit, more well. Slim and Sassy is a vital essential oil blend that I use every day. And a lot of my people, well, every one of them use it, and from the elderly all the way to experienced athletes are using Slim and Sassy. And the reason is it's a combination of essential oils that do a phenomenal job of what? Regulating our blood sugar. So one of the key essential oils in Slim and Sassy is the cinnamon essential oil. Cinnamon is one of nature's best blood sugar regulators. There's quite a few type 2 diabetes patients that are turning to cinnamon as an alternative to using prescription drugs in order to regulate their blood sugar. And they're finding dramatic and very good results in using cinnamon essential oil. So it balances the blood sugar, your blood sugar levels, supports a healthy metabolic function because it's keeping us in the metabolic zone, right? And also cinnamon is a powerful antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antifungal. So when we take that, it's really boosting our immune system. If we do happen to have, bacteria, colds, things like that in our bodies, the daily intake of cinnamon is really doing a great job of keeping us more healthy. Now, also Slim and Sassy has grapefruit essential oil. Now, for years, everybody's heard, when you talk about diets or weight loss, people have brought up grapefruit. In fact, there was even a diet just called the grapefruit diet. And why is that? It's because grapefruit contains, one of its components is called D-limonene, okay? And it comes from the rind of the grapefruit. Now, during the grapefruit diet, most people just were eating the grapefruit, okay, which is good, but they weren't eating the rind. as well. And so to get that high level of D-limonene in their body, it would take them eating pounds and pounds of grapefruit in order to get that. So grapefruit essential oil is made from the rind of the grapefruit. It's very high in the D-limonene content. So what that does is that D-limonene, when it is in our body, it creates an enzyme that actually turns on the fat burning process in our body. And at the same time, it's cleansing our lymphatic system. So grapefruit is an excellent essential oil for maintaining optimal wellness, right? It's keeping that metabolism pumping. It's stimulating an enzyme that's actually helping us burn the body fat. And one of the other benefits is that you can use it topically. It improves the appearance of skin, right? So I'll talk to you a little bit about, you can actually use Slim and Sassy and mixed with coconut oil or some of your lotions, and it works great topically on your skin as well. So that's just one of the added benefits. Okay, Slim and Sassy also has peppermint essential oil in it. Peppermint aids in digestion. That's why we usually have mints after we eat at a restaurant. That's why they're there. It relieves stomach discomfort. It's refreshing. It's energizing. But here's the main thing peppermint does when it's in Slim and Sassy, is that peppermint curbs your sugar cravings. So when you're craving that sugar, the peppermint, as it's coating the inside, when it goes all the way down, you can feel it. It curbs those sugar cravings that you might have. So it's excellent for that. Slim and Sassy also contains ginger essential oil, which is great for your digestive system. It creates a great environment for your good bacteria to grow in your digestive system. It reduces stomach bloating and gas. And ginger is a fantastic essential oil as well. So Slim and Sassy, very important to use. And how do we use it? So we want to use 4 to 6 drops in between meals, right? So in between breakfast and lunch, in between lunch and dinner, and then even between dinner and before going to bed, right? And you can put it in your water, so you can drink it like you would adding lemon to your water. You would add Slim and Sassy. I love the taste. In fact, I have it in my water right now. It's really good. It's awesome. It's very unique flavor, but it's fantastic. And then, or if you don't like it in your water, you can take it just in a shot glass with water and take it that way and make it quicker. Also, if you don't like the taste, they do make a soft gel that you can take where you don't taste it at all. So many ways to take it, but that's how I recommend 4 to 6 drops in between meals. So you're at least taking it 3 to 4 times a day, okay? And a lot of times I will take it to the gym with me in my water bottle. So, I will do it 4 times a day. That's what I recommend it. And you'll be amazed at how it curbs your cravings, and then how it really turns on your metabolism. Also giving you more energy because you're not going through those highs and lows that you do when your blood sugar is spiking all over the place. Okay, you're going to notice an energy difference as well. Okay, so let's talk about exercise. Now, I don't like to tell people, I like to be very general with my exercise recommendations, okay? Because when people ask me what's the best exercise to do, I always tell them the exercise you love, okay? So I want you to really, if there's anything you want to do or like to do, if you like to dance, then go do Zumba, go do ELDA, go dancing. If you like to climb walls or go rock climbing, what I want you to do is I want you to get moving, okay? So these are the general recommendations that I like to give, because most people, I think too, when they exercise, they truly, some people don't push themselves like they need to. I'm not saying you got to push yourself just crazy, but push yourself more than you think you can, because if any of you have followed me, or even if you've seen some of my posts, I talk about resistance. And our mind is always, that little voice in our head is always telling us, you know, I can't do it. I'm too tired. I might get hurt. It's just, resistance is always there, and you have to battle it constantly, because we are much stronger and much more powerful than our mind can ever think about, if we just push past that resistance and don't listen to that little voice in our head. And that doesn't mean get crazy and stupid and do things where you know you're going to get hurt, but I need you to battle resistance. I need you to really do things that is outside your comfort zone. If you've never been to a gym or are intimidated by a gym, get into the gym. You're going to find that it's a great environment, and they have so many classes. If you don't like to exercise, or you have an injury, say you have a foot injury or a knee injury, something that's preventing you, then get in the swimming pool. Swimming is an excellent way to exercise. So just don't make excuses about I can't, I won't, I can't, I'm hurt. There's always things you can do to work around it. Trust me. So aerobic training, I recommend you doing something aerobic at least 30 to 40 minutes a day, 5 times a week. Okay. Strength training and resistance training, and this for everybody, even women. I recommend doing it 3 times a week. Now, whether that's, doing a boot camp class, or you even have a home gym that you have some weights or a Bowflex or things like that, or CrossFit. I know women are sometimes intimidated when they hear CrossFit, but I have seen more transformations with people, especially women, when they start doing CrossFit. They're just more confident, their strength. And trust me, when you start doing CrossFit or you go in there, they will work at your level and really work with you. Okay, so don't be intimidated and get outside your comfort zone and do things, get moving. Flexibility training, I recommend every day doing something that you're maintaining your flexibility. Okay, stretching, yoga, whatever that is, and at least doing that, 15, 20 minutes a day, at least, if you can do 20 to 30 minutes, that'd be great, but get that flexibility, keep that range of motion in all your joints, very important. Now, these are some of the essential oils that I use when I'm exercising. Okay, and these are great for injuries, soreness, inflammation issues. This is what keeps me going. I use these every day, and it's called Deep Blue. And this little bottle here is what contains the frankincense, the lemongrass, wintergreen, camphor, and helichrysum. Okay, these are very powerful essential oils, all mixed in this little bottle. And it comes in a rub, so a lotion. So this little bottle is in this tube. It's just in a lotion base. Okay, it makes it a little bit better or easier to put on. So these are the essential oils I recommend when you're training or have injuries or anything like that. And if you get into some of the higher level or want to dive into it further, this DDR Prime we can talk about. But right now at this base level, just so you know, Deep Blue is one that I use every day. It's one you can use right off the bat to help you recover and to keep you exercising and just to make it more enjoyable for you. Okay, so the last thing, we got ready for the day. We our breakfast had our lifelong vitality pack. We had our meals throughout the day, 5 to 6 times a day. We also were drinking our Slim and Sassy as we were eating our snacks throughout the day in between meals. Then we did our exercise, right? If you exercise in the afternoon, it might have been in the morning. And now it's bedtime. So a lot of people have sleeping issues. And this also is one of the biggest derailers for people. And and it really messes with hormone levels and weight loss. They don't realize that if you don't sleep well, that again messes with your metabolism. Your metabolism doesn't fully turn off and be able to regenerate for the night, okay? So when you don't do that and disrupt that, your body essentially goes into starvation mode. It wants to store the fat as energy, okay? So sleep and rest is so very important. Now, these are some of the essential oils that I like to use at night, right, to really help me go to sleep. And these are amazing. People, they're not hocus pocus, I'm telling you. So lavender is always the key, and that's one of the basic relaxing, calming essential oils. Again, you can use a couple drops on your feet before you go to bed, but you can also put it on your pillow, put it on your neck, rub it on your chest, wherever you really can experience that oil and get it into your system is really fantastic. You can use a blend called Serenity, and that contains lavender. It also contains sandalwood, chamomile, and ylang ylang. So there's other blends that you can use that will help you sleep. And you can also use the Serenity Complex if you have a really kind of a tough sleeping issue. And this is a formulation that has lavender in it. And then it also has some herbs that also helps deepen our sleep. So these are some of the things on a daily basis that I recommend to get you into that optimal wellness regimen as quick as possible. Now, we just touched on a few essential oils that I use, but I wanted to specifically dial them into your day, right? How does your day look, and how would you use these during the day, okay? Does anybody have any questions at all? Pipe in, I can't see if you do. Unmute yourself if you have any questions. No? Okay, so this last page is, and I'm not a big sales guy, but if this speaks to you, if you would like to try the essential oils, we as a team are running a fantastic special this month. So I just want to throw it out there. You can use essential oils. You can join doTERRA just use it. You can use one oil if you want, if that's what if that's what you like to do. You can purchase at wholesale level if you want to do that as well. You don't have to sell. They have many ways you can enjoy the oils. Now, if you want to get into this wellness regimen and use some of the oils that I talked about, this is the April special. So if you buy 200 PV, which is almost $1 for dollar, so say it's $200 order, it can be an enrollment kit or any other combination of oils or supplements that you want. You're going to get a free personalized nutrition plan from me, but you're also going to get this emotional aromatherapy touch kit, and you get a deep blue touch roller and a deep blue rub bottle. So, and that's $225 retail value. So essentially you're spending around $225 and you're going to get a $225 in free products. So it is a smoking special. If you're interested in that, please message me, let me know. I'll be glad to help you. If you're just interested in enrolling or getting an oil or even a personalized nutrition plan, I would be glad to help you out with that as well.